Foreign Minister Abdallah Bouhabib was the country's ambassador to the United States, also worked once as the economist at the World Bank, and he is now joining us from Beirut. Welcome to the programme, Foreign Minister. What do you think is going on?
Pleasure.
What do you know is going on? What's happening right now in your country?
Well, you described it a little bit, and it is worse than one can say. There are a lot of people who are being killed, and a lot of people injured, and a lot of them maimed for good, so it's a very hard situation. And I don't know what's Israel's intention. I don't think they can return their those refugees who went from their villages in the north in this way, because Israel was in Lebanon and had to run away in Lebanon. Of course, they stayed 22 years, but there were too many killings of Israelis there. So I don't think Israel would want to occupy South Lebanon again, because this time the resistance is stronger than it was in the past. So I really don't understand the Israelis, because if they want to go to get back their people to the north, those who were displaced to the north, to their villages and settlements, they have to negotiate. Mm-hmm. And they have to negotiate with the Lebanese government through mediators like the Americans as well.
So have there been any negotiations, before I get to the nitty-gritty of the exploding walkie-talkies, has there been any kind of diplomatic attempt? Because Hezbollah obviously also got into this war after October 7th in support of Hamas. So there's been an ongoing exchange of fire between the two sides for nearly a year now.
That's true. Till October 8th, it would be a year. So, yes, the Americans got involved, the French got involved, UN tries its best as well. But we depend on the Americans now to really take it. I mean, Mr. Amos Hochstein is, or I don't know if he still is in Israel, and I think he was supposed to come here if he has any message. It seems he doesn't have any message. So he has been negotiating. He has been talking to people here and in Israel, but so far nothing came out.
So, Foreign Minister, the Americans say they were not told of these details. Now the Israelis are saying they did warn the Americans, but apparently, by consensus, there was no details given to the Americans, neither to Mr. Hochstein nor to the State Department. And the Secretary of State is in the region right now. This is what he's saying about the general situation.
We've been very clear, and we remain very clear, about the importance of all parties avoiding any steps that could further escalate the conflict that we're trying to resolve in Gaza. To see it spread to other fronts. It's clearly not in the interest of anyone involved to see that happen. And that's why, again, it's imperative that all parties refrain from any actions that could escalate the conflict.
Foreign Minister, he's talking about trying to get a ceasefire in Gaza in order to calm the whole area. Do you think that's what it's going to take to stop Hezbollah from its activities?
Look, Hezbollah is a resistance movement, and let's deal government to government. We are willing to talk to Hezbollah at the right time, and we communicate with them all the time. And I think if Israel wants peace, we are ready for peace, for a ceasefire. Mm-hmm. Not a peace treaty, but for a ceasefire on the border, and an agreement on what are the conditions for this ceasefire. Granted that 1701, which is the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701, is a very important resolution for us. And if we implement it, for us and the Israelis, and we both said let's implement it, but Israel violates Lebanon, the sovereignty of Lebanon every day. Every day there is a violation. So I'm not defending Hezbollah, because, yes, they are also, retaliating. Escalation has been all the time Israelis. Like what happened yesterday, what happened today is escalation. Mm-hmm. we cannot talk to Hezbollah anymore now in the way we were talking to them in the past, because they are, of course, they were hit very badly, and therefore retaliation is a must to them. We'll try to do something, but I don't know how much we have power to stop them.
It all sounds
there is resistance in the south.
Yeah. It all sounds
the occupation of land.
Foreign Minister, it all sounds really hopeless. On the one hand, you say, the U.S. has to do something. The U.S. didn't even know what was about to happen. Israel is its main ally. Israel takes its weapons from the United States. Nobody knew, according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. How is it going to fix this? Then you say you can't talk to Hezbollah because they are, now without their pagers or their walkie-talkies. Are you afraid that this is going to escalate into a regional war, not just Israel going to war with Hezbollah, but a regional war with Iran, etc.?
We have warned about this for a long time, that this will end up with a regional war. And this is not in the interest of any side, any country in the region. We really want peace as a government, and we are really going to New York, to the Security Council. Friday afternoon, we'll have a meeting of Security Council. We want peace. I don't mean to say peace with Israel and have like a peace treaty. We want peace in the borders between us and Israel. And we want to go back to the truce line, which was approved by Israel and by Lebanon in 1949. So, we really want peace, and we're really working for peace, but we did not receive any good sign from the Israelis in this sense.
So let me ask you, has this weakened Hezbollah? Because, first of all, it's quite a stunning coordinated attack. We don't know what the strategy of this was and what's the next step by Israel, but those who get off on this kind of daring do are calling it brilliant. My question to you is, does this weaken Hezbollah in terms of its intelligence has been penetrated, its hardware has been penetrated? What's your view on that?
Well, so far, of course. Now, Hezbollah for a few days or a week or so, they would be in trouble. It's not easy for them to receive such kind of a blow in 2 days. I don't know what's expected more, if there is anything else is expected tomorrow. They penetrated their intelligence, they penetrated their communication. There's no doubt they would be a little bit in disarray. But I think this is an organization that can come back quickly. That's what happened in 2006, and they can come back quickly. Also, Israel, for a year almost, has been, we're going to finish from Hamas. Yes, Hamas has been weakened, but it is still there. So, ideas, you cannot kill ideas by war. This is, if you have an army against an army, one would win. But this case, it is not the case. It's not the same case as a war. You have an idea. An idea does not die. On the contrary, there would be more people really rallying towards this idea.